This is a day to pull on those reins. Slow it down. Think it through when it comes to love and money. Money making decisions may have to wait a few days, whether it's spending or investing. And love, well, love can be challenging. If you're in a strong relationship, then it won't be anything you can't handle. But if your relationship is not strong, you'll feel the tension swooping in. And it's not so much what happens as how you handle it. So sit back, relax. Let's explore the cosmic energies, and together we can gain an understanding of how to embrace this energy, utilize this energy, and move forward today and every day. Hi, I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you for being here. Thank you for all of the positive, loving, supportive energy you send me each and every day, and welcome to your daily focus for August the 9th, 2023. So now let's start with the numerology. We have a 9 today. The 9 is about endings. It's about completions. It's about and having a reason behind that completion, behind that ending, because we want to create the space for new things. So we want to bring in a new habit. We let go of the old habit. So we replace it with something good. We want to get that new dress, then it's time to get rid of 3. So my daughter was so bad that her one partner said, if you want it, you can, but you have to part with 3 things in order to bring that into the house. And she would have such a hard time, and she had an extensive wardrobe. So, but we always have way too much when it comes to a lot of our things in our life. So perhaps that would be one thing we could do. That would actually be a beautiful, good habit to get into, in order to bring something into the house when it comes to, our shoes and our clothing, and the ladies, the handbags and the accessories and the jewelry and all that stuff that we have to give up 3 in order to bring in 1, and see how that works for us, see how much we want that one thing now. Anyways, the 9 energy is there to allow us to put completion on things, endings on things, to clear the path, to get rid of the excess, get rid of the clutter, so to speak. Now, if we look at the daily numerology, it would be an 8 plus a 9 plus a 7, which gives us a 24. So it's very much about relationships today. And it's about growing love. It's about growing a deeper relationship with somebody else. And so that might be actually a struggle today for us, a challenge today for us. And 2 plus 4 is a 6 energy, which is once again strengthening a relationship. It is also about, changing our habits, changing our behaviors. The 6 energy is very strong for that, allowing us to do those things, to give us that energy, that extra little oomph we need in order to be successful in the challenge. Sun is in Leo, and the moon at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time moves into Gemini. So we will have a day of the Gemini energy with us, with the Leo energy. Okay, let's look at, Venus square Uranus. Let's get the bad news out of the way first. Okay, so this can bring tension into our relationships. Okay, we get this need for freedom. We crave intimacy. So here we are, and we have this balance that we want to bring in, right? We have freedom, excitement that we want in the relationship, and yet we want that intimacy at the same time. And so it may test our patience with the loved one if they're not on the same page with us, or it could even lead to wandering eyes. So just beware of that kind of energy, okay? Our values, our tastes may seem to clash. We may not see eye to eye. And impulsive attractions, right? And both people and material things can lead us down the wrong roads today. Okay, it's just as much a love energy as it is a money energy. And so today we may see something shiny and bright, and we've just got to have it. So I beg you to just back it up for at least 24 hours to think about it before you go back and get it. Even if you have to put a down payment and you lose the down payment if you don't buy it, it's better than paying that full amount and finding out that you didn't want it at the end of the day. It didn't fill that void. It didn't fill that need. It made you happy for about 90 seconds. And then you went back to feeling that need again for freedom and excitement and enthusiasm. And So be careful on that. Hold off on any decision making when regards to your finances, please. Okay, whether you want to spend or you want to invest, I would hold off on it. The wrong things look shiny right now. Mercury and Pluto are talking. And this could actually lead us towards suspicion, mistrust. And if we can harness this energy, we can develop strategies right now to get to the bottom of any matter, not just the matter at hand. But it's almost like we put things into place, these steps that we take in order to get to the bottom of something. So it's very much a teaching moment for us, whatever comes up. So what you are suspicious about, what you are suspicious about or mistrustful about, okay, harness that energy and say, okay, so if I want to find out the truth of the matter, if I want to get to the very bottom of it and get the raw energy of the truth, then what do I need to do? What is step A? What is step B? What is step C? And you're kind of walking your way through this, so the next time something where a little bit of suspicion comes up, you just automatically go and do what you need to do the first time around. So Mercury is a very much a teaching moment for us, but Mercury is also talking to Jupiter. I think they're trining in the sky, and this is going to give us this positive attitude. Okay, so we have a broader perspective, we have good insight, as well as we can strategize for our future. Now remember, Uranus and Venus are not getting along right now, so it's not about the action today, but rather allowing those ideas to flow, okay? We really do want to pull back the reins on any kind of actual action here today. Our ideas are big, okay? Intentions, noble. And this energy can really bring in some good news. It can also bring in aha moments, epiphanies. So get lost in your dreamscape, please. And it's about a broader, bolder perspective, a wider lens, growing our horizons. So don't get bogged down with the details right now when you are growing that dream, when you are strategizing that dream, when you are planning those goals and those dreams. Okay, let's turn to the cards. I need a sip of water. First day with the new lips. Okay. Proved I'm human again. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. We'll get to the cards. And remember to subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified every time that I release new content. Please and thank you. I do appreciate it. And thank you for those of you sharing. I've came across it accidentally looking at some other stuff, and thank you for thinking that somebody else could use these words today to guide them on their path. Okay, I'm just the messenger, so I'm glad that you're showing up and you're willing to share me with friends and family and people that need to have a little bit of positive in their life, because I just don't do negative readings. Like we don't have a lot of great in our energy today, but yet I gave you avenues in which to make it a very positive thing. And things aren't positive or negative. It's the way we view them, okay? So it's how we perceive them. And the more we can understand that, the more we can turn to something that is really good. What was that story of the one time? The farmer wins this raffle in the town, and it was a prize horse, like the best, strongest horse you've ever seen. And everybody is clapping him, patting him on the back and shaking his hand. And you're so lucky, you're so lucky. And he goes, oh, lucky, unlucky, who knows, right? So they get the horse in there to start plowing the field. It's going to be great. And the horse gives a back kick and breaks his son's leg. And now it's like, oh, it's so bad. This is such bad news. You have a whole field to plant, and you got the horse and two strong men, and now you only have your one son. Oh, I feel so bad for you. And he goes, good, bad. Who knows? Who knows? And then along came the army, and they wanted to take, kids within a certain age group, the boys, off to war to fight. But they didn't take his son because he had a broken leg, so he couldn't do combat. So everybody was, oh, you're so lucky, and it's good or bad. You just don't know. So it's how you perceive the situation more than what the situation is. I just saw the Chariot on the bottom, so we'll see who shows up here. But let's turn to the cards. So it's how you perceive the situation. And sometimes, boy, it's really hard to find a silver lining. I'll be quite honest with you. Sometimes you're just like, what am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to take away from this? And there's some challenges in my life. I still go back and I try and understand where that silver lining could have been. Because I have no idea where it is, where it was, what it was supposed to teach me, how it was supposed to make me stronger or more capable or more relatable or whatever it was. Anyways, we all have that. Okay, let's see here. What's our card? Oh, I picked 2. What are they? The Moon and the 3 of Wands, right? The Moon and the 3 of Wands appear together. Well, the Moon is our emotion. The Moon is our joy center, our heart center, absolutely. And then we have the 3 of Wands, which is really, we're standing there. We're standing there and we are looking out towards our tomorrow. And it's a time when we need to not make the decision, but to look at our decision making, our strategy, to lay out our plans in front of us. And is this where we want to go? What is the long term goal of this? And as it expands, what do we end up with? Or, eventually we'll move over to the next wand and we'll think, well, we could do it this way. And how would that look? And how would that work? And does that work better into my life? Or could I afford that? Or do I have enough time for that? Or will I have the energy to pursue that? Whatever you might be asking yourself. And then eventually you get over to the 3rd wand and it's time to make a decision. But obviously with this, it's not about making a decision. It's about tapping into our heart center and how do we feel about those steps? Do we smile? Do we get filled with anticipation? Do we just want to start doing and growing and just dive into our passion? Are we becoming skeptical? Are we becoming leery? Do we not believe we are deserving of it? Do we not believe that we have the proper tools at hand? Do we not believe that we'll have the support of our loved ones? What holds us back? Because right now we're in full moon energy. This is a time to look at those things and understand why they're holding you back from your passions, from your dreams, from your desires. We have the 4 of Cups as our first card. The 4 of Cups is the gratitude card. It's coming out again. So I guess I'm going to start preaching about gratitude again. And you guys are all well versed if you've been around me for a while because I talk gratitude. Because gratitude is one of the most magical things you'll ever do for yourself. It takes but a mere moment or two of your life, your 24 hours, mere moments. And what happens out of it, how you evolve through the experience of a gratitude journal and writing your own gratitude journal. Yes, I do have one in my publication section if you so desire it, or at least write down, some things that you are grateful for. That you had clean water to drink today, or a hot meal, that you have friends that love you and support you, that you have a paycheck coming in, that you have a car in the driveway, that you have a roof over your head, that you have family, that you have... You woke up to try this whole life thing again today. I mean, how incredible is that? It's about being grateful for what is already here. Okay, and if you don't believe me, start a gratitude journal. Start writing down at night. Just take a piece of paper and a pen and just write one thing you're grateful for. Read it aloud, go to sleep. And the next night, just before you're going to go to sleep, write down a second thing, read the 2 aloud, and go to sleep. And do that for the next 30 days and tell me how you feel at the end of the 30 days. What's happening in your life? Is goodness coming closer and closer at all times? Do more spectacular things start happening in your life on a regular basis rather than a random basis? You tell me. It costs absolutely nothing. But the gratitude card is front and center today. So it's about looking around and understanding that we already have so much to be grateful for. And of course, we're grateful for the things that haven't even come into our path yet as well. We have the 3 of Pentacles. The 3 of Pentacles is work, work, work. Roll up those sleeves. It's going to take a while. This is no, I heard jaunt in a park. But, we're just not going to get from A to B. It's the journey as well as the destination that's important here. And right now we are just creating the beginnings, the thoughts of our tomorrow. And this kind of puts us almost perfectly, right? We've got, another week or so before we get the new moon. And we're about halfway done if we're going to go all the way down that wall, down to the bottom there, and paint, the actual pathway that leads to that tree and that skyscape. So we essentially are holding the paintbrush to our tomorrow. So create a masterpiece is what this card says. One stroke at a time. And so now you are just preparing the beginning to what lays at the end of that. Because you've already done the backdrop, right? So when you were painting that tree and that skyscape, it's there already. You don't need to put all that in. It's there in your heart, in your soul, in your thoughts. So, now we are going to paint it downwards so that we have a path in which to walk and walk through that doorway. So it's about creating our own tomorrow. It's about creating the starting point for ourselves. It's about getting it all together and in order. Because we want the beginning of the walk to just be beautiful and harmonious. So this is what we are creating right now for us. That we have a liftoff, a successful liftoff. That everything goes smoothly. That we are prepared. So yeah, it's about strategy today. It might be about, if you're a little bit suspicious about going in a certain direction because somebody said this or this happened, then research it a little bit, investigate it, understand why you have those suspicions, and trust your gut, trust your intuition. And then we have the King of Cups. The King of Cups is essentially asking yourself the key questions. Okay, I always consider him kind of like dear old dad. And he's sitting there at the kitchen table or sitting in his chair in the living room watching his TV. Go back to the 50s or so, and you're walking out the door. And he stops you and says, "Hey, where are you going tonight? Who are you hanging out with? Who are they? Who's their parents? Where do they live? What do they do? How's that job going? They pay you enough? They respect you there? Yeah? Do you like it? Do you find that you're doing good in it, or would you prefer to be doing something else? You seeing anybody? Looking at apartments, looking at houses, looking at a car? And so dear old dad was there to ask you all these questions that we needed to ask ourselves as adults on a regular basis when dear old dad wasn't there anymore to ask us these questions. And carry it to the next generation so that they are preparing themselves. They're taking things back to the basics. Okay, and for some reason this came in through a meditation just the other day, and now it's in my mind, so I'm going to share it with you. It's about if you're having problems moving in the direction you want, especially if you've been trying for a very long time, then just take it back to the basics. What were the key things that worked? What were the key things that made it work? If it's a relationship, take it back to the basics. Take it back to the beginning. Okay? Tony Robbins says if we treated every day like the first day, we would never have a last day when it comes to relationships. But we get used to each other. We get comfortable. We let our bad habits shine a little bit more. We don't try to be as helpful, as thoughtful, as caring. And when we can do those things on a regular basis, we know we want to in our hearts because we love them. But we tend to forget to show them the love that we showed them at the beginning. So, Tony Robbins is on to something there, I'm sure of it. Let's get an oracle card. Oh, my goodness. Oh, they're trying to escape. Oh, they dead. Let love be your beacon, 42. So we have the 24 energy today. In reverse, it would be the 42 energy. And this is about really growing the home and family around a relationship. So this is growing a best friend, even deeper and stronger. Introducing them to other friends, bringing them into, mixing your worlds together, so to speak. Okay. Let love be your beacon, 42. I will hold it up. Oh, there's all kinds of things to look at here. I hope you're getting a nice clear picture of these cards when I hold them up for you. If not, I'll play around with it if you're not, but there's pictures within the pictures for sure there. See what calls out to you, and then say, hey, Google, what's the spiritual meaning for orange flowers? Lead with love. When you enter into a new situation, see love paving the way. If it is a tense situation or a work environment, do a visualization exercise of filling the space with bright, beautiful love for everyone involved, including yourself. Acknowledge what is going on and be willing to change how you are approaching this. Communication will be harmonious and you will have a greater prospect. I was listening to, oh my gosh, what was it? Maybe it was Neville that I was listening to. It could be Neville. Not sure though. But this one person, they just hated their job. They hated their boss. Their boss insulted them, never gave them credit. Just looked for ways to just utterly ruin that person's life, it seemed. And I believe it was Neville who said, okay, I want you to go into your mind now, and I want you to imagine walking into work and your boss comes up and grabs you by the arm, starts shaking your hand. Job well done yesterday. I didn't get a chance to talk to you about it. You're really doing incredible work around here. Listen, I want you to head this project. Whatever you want the boss to start saying to you. And I want you to do this every day on your drive in, or once you're parked in the parking lot, I guess would probably be a better way. You don't want to be kind of daydreaming while you're driving, but and within like 3 or 4 days the boss started just a whole different attitude. So sometimes we get this thought in our head that this is the reality we're walking into, and so we carry that thought with us and not allowing us to enter a different reality or a new reality. So it's what we expect to walk into when we're walking through that door that makes it usually what it's going to be when we walk through that door. So start changing it. I had another client and he started talking about work being fun. He was going to go play. Instead of saying work, he was going to go play. And he said that work got, after about a week of doing this, work, he was starting to look forward to it. What was going to happen today and what people were going to come in, and it should be busy because of this, and this is the weather and this is the holiday going on. It's going to be busy and we're going to have to do this and we're going to have to do that. And he started looking at it all as like playtime, and it really started to change. So anyways, back to the card. I don't know if that was for somebody but it came out and I had to read it, or I had to say it. I had to stop reading. Communication will be harmonious and you will have a greater prospect to create what you are looking for. Focus on the light within you. Imagine the light shining out of you. Your inner light will permit you to see the world with new eyes and learn new things every day of your life. And we'll get an animal card here. I think I've gone over my time. I know some people don't like it when I get jabbering, but I hit record. And what I say is what I say, and what comes to my mind is said out loud. Whenever I do this, I do a meditation beforehand. I take it very seriously that I am bringing forward messages for you. And so when things appear in my mind, I share them. And sometimes I don't want to share some of the experiences, but I know it's there to help somebody else. So I'm sorry if I went a little over today, what your time frame is for me. But somebody needed to hear that. So, and one day it may be you. So we have the unicorn, infinite possibilities. Look at that. Infinite possibilities. The butterflies, the monarch butterflies. I've got all my milkweed growing. I had a neighbor that mowed it all down on me, all my milkweed. And I'm like, what are the butterflies going to eat? Like, how could you do that? So I've been slowly trying to nurse it back into a full area for them to come. But I had a couple of them there. So you are the sovereign of the seen and unseen worlds. The magic of love surrounds you. Beauty transforms you. Listen to the spirits of light. Abandon the darkness. Go beyond the ordinary and become legendary. And really, That is a lot of our energy today, isn't it? The most exciting part of our energy is Mercury trining Jupiter, right? And this is a day when we can take our thoughts beyond the ordinary. And when we do that, we may see something. We may have that aha moment. We may have that epiphany that we can, in fact, become legendary. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.